40.
Well, Jim, very exciting times at the moment. You've had the first trials on the horse track here just yesterday. The big night tonight, the Bar 1 Racing Irish Sprint Cup final. And a great crowd here tonight. You must be thrilled with that.
A massive crowd, Michael. It's tremendous. And the new stadium, it completed only last week. It's shown itself off tonight, and great crowd. I'm delighted to have it first night open for the Bar 1 Racing Irish Sprint Cup, you know.
And everything is so self-contained because well away from, horses are on one side, the greyhounds are absolutely on the other side.
Absolutely, and it's designed so that eventually we will definitely run both sports on the same evening, and we'll do actually on the 12th of July next year, and the 15th of August both sports will be on, but I think before that there'll be greyhound racing after the horse racing.
Now for the big one, the final of the Bar 1 Racing Irish Sprint Cup. In 1, Johnny Gatillo, 2 is Monto's Mark, 3 Way Over the Odds, in 4, Mercury King, 5, Highbury Low, and 6 is Spider's Head. Here now coming up behind traps, and they're away, and 4 came out well and stumbled Mercury King, and now it's 1 Johnny Gatillo going up with 2 Monto's Mark, 3 is next Way Over the Odds, and 5 Highbury Loud closing into the corner. Johnny Gatillo drifts slightly, bumps Monto's Mark, and it's Johnny Gatillo now leads, turning for home. Now 5 Highbury Loud putting in a big run on the near side, but it's 1 Johnny Gatillo, 5 Highbury Loud, 2 Monto's Mark. Johnny Gatillo holds it all the way from 5 Highbury Loud and 2 Monto's Mark in second. A bit of an upset there. He was showing 7-1 just before the off. Johnny Gatillo. And the result of the Bar 1 Racing Irish Sprint Cup. The winner, number 1, Johnny Gatillo, owned by the Barcelona Syndicate and trained by Martin Lanny. Second, number 5, Highbury Low. And third, number 2, Monto's Mark. The time, 21:26.
Well, Martin Lanny, Johnny Gatillo has done it. He's won the Sprint Cup. Classic success. How does it feel?
Brilliant. Still in shock. So, unreal.
What's the story of the dog? How did you get him?
Bought him off Paul Hennessy as an unraced pup. Syndicate in Barcelona asked me to pick him up a dog. Paul said he had a dog that nothing would lead to the bend, and he was right. And only for him, he wouldn't have won tonight. Dog had a serious injury in his shoulder in the semi-final, and only for Paul, I wouldn't have got him here. He was brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
But did you ever, coming into the stake with Johnny Gatillo, did you think he could win it?
I backed him last Thursday before the semi-final at 25-1, courtesy of Bar 1, so thanks, lads.
That increases the smile.
Yeah, big time.
Well, Johnny Gatillo was a very popular winner with the bookmakers, 7-1 in the betting. We're now going off for a little break, but when we come back, we'll join the Lifford Champion Stakes, the final on Sunday night.
And now we continue our look at the Sprint Greyhound of the Year category for the upcoming National Greyhound Awards. Next up is Johnny Gatillo. This fellow had a wonderful year, but the highlight was winning the Bar 1 Irish Sprint Cup at Dundalk. We spoke to Martin Lanny, his handler.
As you can see, he's a gent. He's quiet as a lamb. He's a pet. He does everything right. He always has done. He's always been top notch. So, like I say, I couldn't ask for better. I wish I had another couple of them. He won over 40,000 in prize money. He progressed. He went up through the grades. He was open by the middle of the year. He was open sprinter by the middle of the year. And we sent him to Sunderland for the Anglo-Irish Sprint. He was third in that. Brought him home. Took him 6 or 7 weeks to settle back in, but came right just in time for the Bar 1. And well, the rest is history.
Johnny Gatillo drifts slightly, bumps Monto's Mark, and it's Johnny Gatillo now leads, turning for home. Now 5 Highbury Loud putting in a big run on the near side, but it's 1 Johnny Gatillo, 5 Highbury Loud, 2 Monto's Mark. Johnny Gatillo.
He did his best ever run on the night of the final, which is, I suppose, in our way, that's what you want to do. 21-26. Did his best ever split, 7-13. So, no, we got it right in the night. The aim every year is to try and top the 100 winners, and we've done it for the last 3 or 4 years. So, like I say, to win our first classic was, well, that was a big step for us. The whole thing is to try and build on it now, Try and go that bit further, and hopefully with him we will. Like I say, if he doesn't see out the trip properly, there's nothing to stop him being an equally as good a sprinter this year, if not better than he was last year. So, like I say, if the English Derby is out of the picture, the Bar 1 comes back into it straight away,
Staying with the sprinters, we now travel to Lifford to conclude our racing action on this week's programme. Let's join Robert Catterson for the final.
Back to Killashee, where we move from the stairs to the two Ben performers, the real speedsters of the game, and quite a year it was for them too. The three contenders, Jinko, Johnny Gatillo, and Like the Clappers. A very tough task for the selectors.
Woods, but off the second men, then 3. Jinko has it in the bag. 3. Jinko staying on well to score.
Right, but it's 1 Johnny Gatillo, 5 Highbury Lau, 2 Montos Mark. Johnny Gatillo.
If he was in a race with the other two dogs that are nominated for Sprinter of the Year, he'd be favoured to beat them.
And inside, there are 2 words, and it says, Johnny Gatillo.
Brilliant to do it, brilliant. Great to be here, and, well, like I say, great to be recognised for the fact that he was the best sprinter, you know.
Tough competition you had to defend off.
Yeah, but he did all his talking during the year. He beat all the best ones. He beat Montos Mark every time he met him. He beat Jinko every time he met him, and they were the best sprinters in the country for the last year. So, like I say, he couldn't do any more. You know, he won the Classic. He won 15 Opens or 15 races altogether. Like, he done everything he had to do.
One of the real highlights of the National Awards Gala each year is the presentation of the Hall of Fame Awards. We had 2 legends inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. Paddy Byrne from Dublin, the man behind the Ketunda prefix, and James McCartan, the footballing legend from County Down, who also has had a great impact on the greyhound world. We will be profiling the Hall of Fame recipients in the coming weeks in this programme. That's it from the first section of Greyhound View, but we will return with the action from the second round of the Gain Feeds Cesarewitch at Mullingar, and also, of course, catching up on the big awards presented at the Killashee House.